Hello, dear students from all over Egypt. Welcome to today's session. With you today, Ms. Wafa Hassoub. And today, inshallah, we will finalize our ICT book, Programming and Artificial Intelligence. السلام عليكم أولادنا الغاليين في كل مكان. أهلا بيكم. والنهارده ان شاء الله باذن الله هنبتدي ان احنا يعني نبتدي نفنش كده ونقفل سواء كان كتاب المدرسه او كوريو بلاتفورم. And today we will start with chapter 16, and after that we will have chapter 17 at Korea platform, and that will be the end for your platform. ان شاء الله النهارده هناخد chapter 16 وبعده باذن الله هناخد checking and standing، وكمان كده يبقى احنا انهينا خالص المنصة. نتعشى ما شاء الله ان you get your high marks at toughest exam. So be with me please to array. So chapter 16 is about array. So you will learn how to write arrays, retrieve values, and use them in combination with iterative processing. Okay, so starting with the first lesson, and as usual, first lesson with the key points: what's an array, how to use arrays, and how to write arrays. So let's be with me, and here we have Rick. He is sighing and he looks upset. It was so hot again today. I'm going to eat ice cream. Oh, let's see, today's high is, so here he is speaking about the temperature of the day. So today's temperature is 36, and this is the highest temperature for him. He thinks that he is boiling now. He doesn't know the temperature in somewhere in Egypt. So nearly 38 and above. So he is talking about the high temperature. So he says, let's see. The temperature since last week have been 36, 26, and 27, 28, 33, and 36 degrees Celsius, and so on. So here we have Cody. He is asking, why are you taking so many notes on the temperature? And Ricky says, hi, Cody. I actually have to record the daily temperature for my science homework. We're going to use this data to find out if global warming is really happening. And Cody is asking it, it was for homework. You're doing great. Well, I could program this temperature data. Temp 1 is 36. So here is Ricky is gonna make a program for the temperature data. So, ta-da! The name of the program is a temperature recording program. And he wrote, let temp 1 equal 36. Let temp 2 equal 36, and so on for the 7 days of the week. And Cody, after he reviewed this program that was created by Rick, well, he was surprised. You're creating variables from temp 1 to temp 7 and assigning the daily maximum temperature to them. And Rick says, oh yeah, how about that? It fits, right? He thinks that it looks good, but it's pretty long. And Cody will give him the solution. He says, well, there is nothing wrong with the program that you wrote. In fact, I can put this program on just one line. So these 7 lines that you have seen in Ricky program, Cody will make it in just one line. So we have here Rick says, I can write again in abbreviated form. Tell me how to do it. Look here, this is the code. So we have here let temp list, and temp list here is a variable that we named for temperature. So let the variable temp list equal 36 and comma 36, comma 26, 27, 28, 33, and 36, separated by comma and between square, okay? So let's see here what Ricky is gonna say. Amazing, just one line? How can it be? And look here how Cody did it. Well, of course, the original program that Ricky created, he created a variable, okay? He named it temp1 and it equals 36. And created another variable, okay, with the name of temp2 and the value inside it is 36. Variable 3, okay, he called it temp3 and the value inside it is 26. So this is the original one and what we used before to do. But the idea of Cody to write it in one line is what? To write all the variables, okay, just in one box. So here we have different boxes, but here it's one box. All these variables, but in one box. So it's variable 36, variable 36, and 26, and so on. So they are all together, not separated. But here they were separated. So, right, and in the program you wrote for us, a variable can only have one value assigned to it. However, an array, as we will learn in this lesson, can contain multiple values at once. The variable, okay, can only have one, okay, or can be assigned to one value at a time. But with the array, we can have different types or multiple values in the same line. If a variable is a box for storing values, then an array is multiple boxes for storing values. So we have here different boxes that they work together, not just the original one or the original program. So here we have variable 1, okay, with this value assigned to it, and variable 2 with this box or this value assigned to it. But here we have all of them, okay, at one line. So this is what we call array. So we can have a multiple or group of variables together at one line. So look here. So this is the difference between variables and arrays. If we think of a variable as a box that holds a value, then an array, so look here, it's a variable and holds a value. Another variable and holds another value. So he simulated with boxes. So this is a box and another box and another box. Okay, they are separated. But with array, it's a group of boxes connected together. They are all connected together. How can we connect them? We will see together. So you can stick a lot of boxes side by side. Yes, it may or may not ring a bell. Right? Let's take a closer look at how it's written. Let's name the variable temp list. It's like a list of temperatures. Next, let's look at the program on the right. To put the value in an array, just write numerical values in square brackets separated by commas. So, علشان بس نعرف الفرق ما بين الفاريبل العادي ما بين الاري، اوكي. الفاريبل كان لما بنيجي بنعمله او بنكتبه كنا بنكتب مثلا let temp1 equal 36. فكده temp1 أو الvariable اللي موجودة عندي أوكي، كإنه box كده وأنا أضفت فيها القيمة دي فقط. وبالتالي أنا عامل إيه، عامل كمية بقى من الboxes وكل واحد فيهم لوحده، يعني let temp1 equal 36 ده program، وده نفس نظام program another program وهكذا. أنا عامل 7 programs لل7 أيام بتوع الأسبوع عشان أقدر أسجل بيهم الtemperature أو درجة الحرارة. إنما مع الarray بقى إيه اللي بيحصل، إن إحنا بنقدر إن إحنا نخليهم كلهم كده، يعني كل الdifferent boxes دي أنا باخليها كلها مع بعض في one line. طب إزاي إحنا بنربط الboxes دي together؟ عن طريق إن إحنا بنضيفها كده ما بين square brackets وكمان بنفصل ما بينهم بالكوما. يبقى remember if you want to do an array you have to put the values in between the square brackets, okay? And separate them by a comma. Separate them by a comma. So how that it's more organized and easier to understand how to write using arrays, isn't it? But Cody, I think it's a little difficult to tell which numerical value is the temperature on which day when you write it using an array. Meaning, look here. So here we have the values, but we don't know which day. يعني في البروجرام اللي كتبه ريكي كان واضح ان ده temp 1 ده اللي هو اليوم الاول، اليوم الثاني كان فيه 36، اليوم الثالث وهكذا. لكن هنا مش واضح فيه بقى القيمه دي بتاعت اي يوم. ف this is the point that Rick is talking about. When you write it in a variable, it's easy to quickly see the variable 10 plus 5. Okay, so 10 plus 5 equals 28 for the temperature on day 5. But an array, we can't know it here. So here is Cody answered Ricky and says, well, there is of course an easy way to find out what the temperature is on day 5 in the array. So notice that I have added a second line to the program. Look here, he added what? Console.log and open the parentheses or the brackets, as you can see, and wrote temp list. This temp list on another here. Look here, we have square brackets and number 4 in between. Well, what does this mean, Cody? Well, in console.log it says temp list 4. Cody, that's the wrong day. What I want to know is the temperature on day 5, not 4. So actually the arrays numbers each of the box starting with 0. نخلي بالنا كده, take care. This is a pretty important. This is a VIP part, very important part. Okay, so when we start naming the boxes or naming the variables, we start with 0, not 1. We start with 0. So take care. If you want day 4, so you have to count from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the value of day 5. Be careful. Be careful, please. So we name it from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. Counting from 1 would be easier to understand. Well, I was confused at first too, but remember that JavaScript arrays are counted from 0. So we have to memorize it. لازم نحفظها كده زي ما هي. إن الجافاسكريبت okay ال variables أو ال counting بالنسبة للarray في جافا بيبدأ من الزيرو. Let's look at how the program is written. In console.log you wrote temp list 4. temp list 4 معناها ايه بقى؟ معناها اليوم الكام؟ temp list 4 تبقى اليوم الخامس. ليه؟ ادي هنا 0 1 2 3 4 اللي هي equal day 5. يبقى نخلي بالنا كويس من جزئية. Now let's look at how the program is written. In console.log, you wrote temp list 4. To output the values of an array to the console, simply write the variable temp list and the number of values you want to retrieve in between square brackets. So the number in the array starts at 0. So do you know what to write? He is asking you, dear students. And we should know, of course. We want day 5. Okay, so these are the days. Day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4. So we want the value of day 5. How to write a program or how to retrieve it in a program through JavaScript? We write let temp list equal and open the square and write 36, 36, 26, 27, write all the values. And when we go to console.log, we start counting to know which day, to know it, start counting from 0. So yes, we want day 5, then let's count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. So 4 here equals day 5. Okay, just remind yourself it's less than 1. يعني دايما لو انت مثلا هي حابه فكر نفسك كده ان هي اقل من الرقم المطلوب بواحد. Okay. The temperature on day 5 was 4. So you mean temp list 4. Okay, so then let's see if it really outputs the temperature 28 on day 5. Look here. Look to the code. Let temp list equal 36 and so on. console.log temp list 4. احنا كده عايزين نطلع القيمة اللي موجودة عندنا في temp list أو الفاريبل اللي هي 4 في الفاريبل اللي اسمه 4. So start counting, يعني guess what's the result here. Start counting from 0. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That means it will output 28. Let's click run code and it's 28. يبقى لما تيجي انت حضرتك عايز مثلا تطلع اليوم، هنفترض مثلا اليوم السابع. فلو انا عايز اليوم السابع هنا اهو، المفروض ان انا اكتب ايه؟ او نخليها مثلا اليوم الخامس. فالمفروض ان انا هكتب ايه هنا؟ المفروض ان هي بتتكتب اقل منها بواحد. اوكي، اليوم الخامس بتبقى اقل منها بواحد. لو انا عايز اليوم السابع يبقى اقل منها بواحد، يبقى احنا المفروض هنا هنكتب السادس مثلا او نكتب 6. اوكي. True, a temperature of 28 was output for day 5. By the way, I've only output the temperatures for a specific day. It's day 5. You can also output all temperatures at once. How can you guess? It's by writing the variable itself. It's temp list. يبقى الفاريبل اللي اسمه temp list holds all these values at once. Let's click run code and voila, we have it, all of the values or all of the temperature here. All the numerical values in the array are output. In this way, when you want to output all the values of an array to the console, you can write the name of the variable to which the array is assigned in brackets in console.log, and when you want to extract only specific value, you can write the variable name and the number of the array to be extracted in square brackets. يعني احنا لو عايزين نطلع قيمة الارray كلها مصفوفة كلها مرة واحدة، فبنضيف الاسم بتاع الفاريبل ما بين parentheses أو الأقواس اللي احنا شايفينها دي. إنما لو أنا عايزة أطلع قيمة واحدة بس من كل الارrays اللي موجودة، we put it in between the square brackets. I'll try to write a program using arrays too. All right, let's keep updating the temperature recording program. Let's continue to the next lesson. Okay, so the key points of the lesson: number of the array value, how to retrieve values from an array, how to check all values in an array. Okay, today I'm going to modify my temperature recording program. So instead of writing it like here, okay, we will write it in one line. How? By adding all these temperature values, okay, in between square brackets, and we will separate them by a comma. We will separate them by a comma. So here we have Rick says, oh, first, the original program. This is it. So this is the original program that he created before. Do you remember what an array looked like? This is what it looks like. Okay, so they are group of boxes that connected together by a comma. I remember well. Let's start by looking at the example and remember how to write it. So look here, create your program as follows. So this is what we have here. Let's write template. And remember the L here is capital because it's temperature list. We don't put a space between the name or the different words of a variable name. يعني في اسم الفاريبل احنا ما ينفعش ان احنا نضيف فيه space مسافة. So instead of that, what we do, the second word, we capitalize the first letter. We capitalize the first letter. So the L here is capitalized, L capital. So template, okay, equals, and open a square brackets. Let's write 36 and a comma. 36 and a comma. 26, comma, 27 and another comma, 28 and 33 and finish with 36. Okay, and as usual we end our program with a semicolon. Let's check it with me. Let's click run code and great. So this is how to write an array. Okay, you assign an array to the variable templates, right? You can add multiple values to an array by writing numerical values separated by commas in between the square brackets. And how to write square brackets? just click the letter جيم in Arabic. يعني علشان نجيب البراكت اللي هي شكلها كده مربع بنضغط على حرف الجيم علشان to open the bracket and to close it we click حرف الدال. يبقى احنا عندنا عشان افتح الاقواس بنكتب حرف الجيم ونقفل القوس بحرف الدال. Okay, without shift, because if we click shift you will have to remember it's a curly brackets. لو احنا ضغطنا معاها shift لا هيجيب لنا كده الكيرلي brackets اللي كنا بنعملها قبل كده واللي احنا هنشوفها دلوقتي لما هنعمل for statement. طيب so this is how to write an array. We write let variable name equal and open the square brackets value 1 and a comma, value 2 and a comma, value 3 and so on till we end it and close the brackets or the square brackets and finalize it with a semicolon. When I wrote it down, it was surprisingly easy. Well, okay, now let's take the temperature for day 3 out of the array and output it to the console. I thought the numbering of array starts with 0. طيب احنا دلوقتي عايزين ال temperature of day 3. خلي بالنا كده ادي هنا اهو ال array stamp list. المفروض ان احنا عايزين day 3. اوكي ف day 3 is exactly where so the array starts with 0. It starts with 0. So اليوم الثالث خلي بالنا احنا يعني سيبكم من الارقام المكتوبه دي خالص. احنا مصنفينهم على اساس ايام فده المفروض اليوم الاول اليوم الثاني اليوم الثالث اهو اللي هو المفروض اللي هو 26. طب لما هنيجي هنكتب بقى في الارray عندي هل يا ترى هنكتب هنكتب 2 ولا هنكتب مثلا 3 اللي هو اليوم الثالث which one of them so be with me to check it. So to get the temperature on day 3 I need to use temp list number 2. طب why number 2 why number 2 لان انا قلت لكم ان احنا المصفوفة عندنا او الارrays بيستارت with 0 in JavaScript. So اليوم في الاساس اليوم المفروض اليوم الثالث علشان اقدر احسبه كويس. اوكي فلما بنيجي بنكتب مش بنقدر ان احنا نكتب ايه نكتب اللي هي هنا اهو يعني مش هيجيب لنا لا احنا بنحسب ادي 0 1 ودي 2 يبقى انا المفروض عايز القيمة اللي في البوكس او اللي موجودة عندي في الفاريبل اللي هو 2. فبالتالي لما بنيجي نكتب مش بنكتب 3 لا بنكتب 2. ليه 2 لان هي الترتيب بتاعها من 0. انا عايز اليوم الثالث فالمفروض ده ادي اليوم الاول ادي اليوم الثاني ادي اليوم الثالث اهو اللي هي القيمة دي. اوكي let's write end of the program as follows. After he wrote let temp list equal these values console.log temp list 2 temp list 2. okay so احنا يعني على حسب تفكيرنا كده let's write it first and we will discuss it with you. okay let's write console.log and open the parentheses. Let's write temp list. Open the square brackets and let's write number 2. Close the brackets and close the parentheses and put the semicolon. طيب تعالوا بينا كده المفروض ان انا عايز اليوم الثالث. طب انا كاتب هنا 2 مش انا عايز اليوم الثالث المفروض اكتب 3. قال لي no it starts with 0. فبالتالي ادي هنا 0 ادي 1 2 and this is 3. اوكي عشان كده احنا لو احنا عايزين مثلا اليوم الثالث فبنكتب قبله برقم بنكتب 2. لو أنا عايز اليوم السابع فأنا بكتب قبله الرقم بنكتب 6 or 6. Okay. And here is the number that we want. Okay. So that's right. I'm not sure if it's temperature on day 3, but it's 0, 1, 2. So 10 plus 2. Starting from 0 feels unfamiliar, doesn't it? Well, let's practice one more question. Let's take the temperature 33 on day 6 and output it to the console. So now we want day 6. How to write it to the console? Should we write 6 or what? Well, let's write it with me, please. We will write console.log. And remember, after that, what should we do? Open the parentheses, write temp list, open the square brackets, and let's write. طيب احنا عايزين المفروض القيمة اللي هي 33 اللي هي دي 33. So what should we write here? Which number? Okay, let's count with me starting with 0. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's 5. So let's write 5 now. Okay, and close the square brackets, close the parentheses, don't forget. End the program with a semicolon, and let's click run code. And here we have it, 33. I was able to write it. 33 starts with 0, and the numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it becomes 10 plus 5. Exactly. By the way, do you remember how to write to output all the values of an array? Yes, we remember. We put the name of the variable in between the parentheses. So let's practice it with me. What should we write here? We write console.log, and the name of the variable is template. Look here, console.log, open the parentheses, write template, and remember that the L is capital. Okay, and close the parentheses. End it with a semicolon. So when we want to have all the array at the same time, to write all the values, just write the name of the variable. If you want one value from all these values, after we write temp list, what should we do? We put or we write square parentheses or square brackets and write the day or the number of the variable itself. Let's click run code. And here we have all the values at same time. Continue to the next lesson using arrays values. Whoa, I need help. We want you to remember what we have taken before. It's the for loop. It's the iterative. Do you remember? التكرار عندنا لما أخدناها before. How did we do it? We use the letter I, okay, as the name of a variable. And we start by writing I equal 0. So this is the value here of the variable I equal 0. And sometimes we change it to other numerical values, but we will start with 0. So this is how to declare a variable and assign the value to it. Okay, so we declared the variable name was I, and we assigned 0 to it as a value. After that, do you remember what we did? We wrote I is less than 7. It means that he is checking. We wanted to check if the condition here is met. Is I less than 7? If it is, okay, add 10 plus I to total. And update the variable plus 1. We wrote I plus plus, do you remember? And I want you to repeat it again and again. Check if the I here is less than 7, then add the 10 plus I, okay, and increase it or update it by 1. And repeat it each time till you reach it 7, and you will stop, or it will stop. Actually, I have to come up with an average temperature for the week recorded this time and submitted. I'd like to update my temperature recording program so that I can get average temperatures as well. Is it possible to do that? Of course, you can easily get the average temperature. By the way, Rick, how do you calculate the average temperature in a normal calculation? Do you know how to calculate the average of any numbers? Well, let's see. Add up all the temperatures for a week or 7 days and divide by 7. احنا عشان نجيب المتوسط بنجيب الارقام كلها، مجموع الارقام دي كلها على عددهم. Okay? So exactly the big picture is the same when it comes to programming average temperature. Let's follow the 3 steps to create a program. Assign an array to a variable. To create a program using array, first, okay, we declare variable and we assign an array to the variable. After that, add all the temperatures for a week. And finally, divide the added temperatures by 1 week or by 7. Create, add, and divide. So create a variable and assign, okay, a value to it. Add all the temperatures of the week and divide it by 7. Why 7? Because these are the numbers of the week or the number of the days. Sounds doable. So we can do it. Okay, let's try one at a time. First, let's create an array to summarize the temperature data as a review of the previous article. Let's assign a week worth of temperature data without any examples. So here, create your program as follows. We will write this program. Let's write it with me. Template equal and open the square brackets. Starting with 36 and a comma. 36 and another comma. 26 now and 27 and a comma. 28, another comma, and 33, and finally 36. Okay, and end it with a semicolon. Okay, let's click run code and voila. Of course, we didn't get anything here because we didn't put it to the console. Okay, so The way to write with arrays is perfect. That completes the first step, right? Well, now the second step is to add all the temperatures for the week. I've added this to the previous program. So pay attention to the second and subsequent lines. Look here to this program, and it's not hard as it looks. Don't worry. So here, as you can read, it's let template equal, and here the array for it. And after that, we create a variable named total, okay? And total here is for adding all these variables in total. So first, I prepared a box for the total value in the second line, which is the variable total. So we assigned a box for total here. Total is, we did it why? Because we want to add all these or create an addition to each other. So I want to gather them all and put them to total. After that, we create what? A looping process. So we use what we use for. And after that, we said let I, or the variable I, equal 0. If I is less than 7 and I is added by 1, or we add 1 to it, update it each time. Let I, okay, change each time or every time. And we have here total, okay, equals total plus template I. I know that it looks hard, but it's pretty easy for you, dear students. Why? Because here we have it. It says what? The template here means that the number in the basket or in this box here is, we call it template. And the I, we have it here. This is the position of what we write here. يعني تعالوا كده نفهم كده حبة حبة. ال final line here, what does it mean? We told you that here we have template, okay? And the template of this variable, we tell the program, we will tell the computer that we want you to gather, to add total plus the template. And where is exactly the template? This position, the I position, which one of these? يعني أنا عايزة أقول له إن أنت هات لي كده التوتال في النهاية، أوكي؟ أو المجموع بتاعهم. كل مرة حضرتك هتزود معايا بالنسبة للتوتال، احنا عارفين ان هو متغير اهو كل مرة ما بيبقى ابديتد، فتجيب لي بقى القيمة اللي موجودة في توتال في الاساس بلس مين بقى؟ بلس التمبلست اللي هي ايه؟ اللي هي هنا اهو. طيب اي واحدة في دول على حسب النمبر هنا. يعني لو قال لي مثلا 2 فيبقى ادي 0 1 2 فهتبقى هنا 26. فايه اللي هيحصل؟ علشان نحسب بقى التوتال هيروح يجمع لي مين؟ هيجمع لي توتال اللي هنا اللي هي 0 بلس مين؟ اللي هي ايه؟ اللي هي هتكون 26. المره الثانيه بقى ايه اللي هيحصل؟ هتبتدي تتغير لان التوتال قيمته اتغيرت. التوتال بقت 0 معاها 26 فبقت التوتال هنا قيمتها 26. لما نيجي بقى في العمليه الحسابيه الثانيه، لان احنا قلنا ان هو بيزود لي واحد كل مره، فهيجي ايه اللي هيحصل؟ هيروح يجيب لي اللي بعدها بقى. يعني ادي 26 هيبتدي يروح يجيب لي هنا ايه؟ القيمه 27. فهيجمع مين؟ هيجمع 26 و27 مع بعض. ليه؟ لأن توتال هنا احنا قلنا قيمتها اتغيرت ب 26، والتمبلست الاي اللي هنا اهو اللي هي قيمة مين؟ قيمة ده اللي هي ابتدت تتغير. الأول كانت 26 وبعديها في العملية الجديدة بقت 27. العملية اللي بعدها تبقى 28، اللي بعدها هياخدهم بقى 1 by 1، لأن احنا قلنا هنا اهو updated by 1، كل مرة تزود لي واحد، كل مرة تغير لي واحد، فبالتالي قيمة total كل مرة بتتغير. والtemplate هنا الاي اللي هنا برضه هتتغير معانا. Let's check it with me please for more illustration. Well, first I prepared a box for the total value in the second line, which is the variable total. So دي أول حاجة احنا عملنا البوكس اللي اسمه total. Okay. From the third line, it's a program that repeats addition 7 times to sum the temperature for a week, 7 days. احنا قلنا عشان نجيب الافريج المفروض ان احنا بنجمع اوكي ال 7 days. Oh, you use a for statement to repeat. فعلشان بقى التكرار ان انا كل مره يزود لي القيمه، فعملنا اللي هي ايه، او ان هو يكرر لي العمليه دي، فاستخدمنا اللوبينج statement or looping process. After the for statement, the number of or iterations is determined in between. Do you remember? In between the parentheses. And the processing to be repeated is written in the curly brackets. Do you remember it? Yes, yes. فاكرين كده في فور عندنا لما كنا بنكتب ايه اللي بيحصل؟ كنا بنقول له ده حضرتك انا عايز منك كده اوكي ان انت تكرر لي او توريني كده النمبر اوف iterations، وكده بنكتبها فين؟ بنكتبها في القيمه دي. يعني بصوا كده اهي. look here. So here is the assigned variables that we have said before, and here is the update that I told you about. يبقى ادي هنا مين؟ ادي هنا التكرار اللي لو انا بقول له كل مره زود لي واحد، ادي اللوبينج اهو، او ادي التكرار بتاعي. طيب اللي between بقى الكيرلي براكتس كان بيبقى ايه؟ كان القيمه اللي انا عايزه ان هو يكررها. يعني انا بقول له هنا كل مره زود لي واحد، كل مره اديني ايه؟ اديني تكرار. طب يكرر لي ايه او يزود لي ايه هنا؟ فدي كنا بنكتبها هنا اهو، اللي هي between the curly brackets. So it was in the parentheses, the variable I is assigned to 0. And when I is less than 7, the value is added to I by 1. So this determines the number of times it repeats. I'm starting to remember well. This time we want to add temperatures for 7 days. So we will repeat it 7 times. The variable I starts at 0 and I is less than 7, which means that the processing will be repeated until I is less than 7 before the variable I reaches 7. Okay, so it will be for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it will be ended before it reaches the repeated processing in between the curly brackets is what does total equal total plus total template and the square brackets I mean. So what does this mean? The whole process is about this line, okay, or the new process for us. So it means to add the value of the I, the number in template to total. يعني احنا عايزين ان هو يضيف لنا مين بقى؟ يضيف لنا القيمة اللي موجودة بالنسبة لI. I دي هي القيمة اللي كانت موجودة في ايه؟ الاري اللي موجودة عندي. يبقى الI عندي بتمثل البوزيشن الخاص بالايه بقى؟ بالفاليو اللي موجود في الاري. I, okay, it represents the position of the value in the array. You know that you are assigning total plus template I to the variable total. So the key point is to pay attention to template I. The I in template refers to the variable I in the parentheses of the for statement. So that's what I told you about. يبقى احنا بنقول له ايه بقى علشان خاطر نقدر ان احنا نحسب المجموع كله على بعض. بنقول له ان total اللي هي المجموع بقى النهائي اللي هي بتساوي عندي equals total plus template I. طب الاي دي انا على اي اساس بحددها؟ قال لي ده الاي على حسب مين؟ على حسب البوزيشن بتاع مين؟ بتاع الفاليو. يعني لو قال لي template 0 يبقى يقصد بيها مين؟ 36. فكده انا الفاليو اللي هتبقى موجوده في توتال هنا هتبقى ايه؟ هتبقى 36. لما نيجي هنغير بقى، احنا لو تفتكروا في السطر بتاع الفور ستيتمنت كان فيه بلس اللي هي ايه؟ ان هو كل مره بزود واحد. فالمره الجايه بقى هيبتدي ايه؟ هينتقل بقى من الزيرو من هنا، هينتقل لمين؟ هينتقل للواحد، هيزود عليها اهو خانه او هيزود عليها واحد، فهتبقى 10 بلس 1. تذكروا كده ان القيمه هنا توتال في دي بقت 36. طيب 10 بلس 1 هتبقى مين؟ هتبقى 36. فهيبقى عندنا بقى توتال اللي هي 36 اللي كانت موجوده هنا بالاضافه للجديده 36 الجديده، يبقى هيبتدي يجمع لي بقى 36 بلس 36. طيب ايه اللي بعدها في 2؟ ده احنا عندنا هنا كان 36 بلس 36 المجموع على بعضه بلس مين؟ بلس ايه بقى؟ اللي هي 26 الجديده اللي بقت هنا. فكل مره يفضل يجمع معانا بقى القيم لحد ما يجمعهم كلهم، وبالتالي لما نلاقي توتال عندي في الكود او في البروجرام اعرف ان هو عايزني اجمع كل دول. This is an abbreviation for the whole process. يعني لما يكون عندنا في سؤال موجود وهلاقي فيها كلمة total او كلمة sum، اعرف ان هو عايز يعمل ايه؟ ان هو عايزني اجمع كل القيم دي في النهاية او add a result في النهاية. اوكي. So I see template I change the content of the square brackets in conjunction with the number of iterations like 10 plus 0, 10 plus 1, 10 plus 6, and so on. Again, let's check the repetitive processing. ادي بقى العملية التكرارية بتاعتنا اهي. So assign total plus 10 plus zeros اللي هي 36 to the variable total. assign total اللي هي بقت 36 بقى خلاص اهي. template first 36 to the variable total. يجي بقى assign total اللي هي بقت قيمتها مين؟ المجموع دول. اللي هي كده بقت 72 بقى هنا. 72. So assign total اللي هي 72 plus template 6 اللي هي 36. فهيبتدي يجمع لي بقى ايه one by one or it will be a repetitive processing. So the result is as follows. Now let's actually write a program. Since addition alone doesn't output to the console, let's write a program that output the value of the variable total as well. Enter the same program as below. Well, here you already have written let template equal, and here are the values. So let's write the rest of the program. So we write let total equal 0. And we have a semicolon. Then after that, this is a looping process for, and open the brackets or the parentheses, and let's write let I equal 0. And we have a semicolon, and I is less than 7, and we have a semicolon, and we have I plus plus. So this is the updating of the repetitive process. And after we ended, we open the curly brackets and click enter. We write total equals total plus temp list, and open the square brackets and write I, because this is the position, okay, of the value that changes each time. And end it with a semicolon. No, not here. So end it with a semicolon, and we will finalize it with what exactly? With console.log. Open the parentheses and write total. End it with a semicolon. Okay, let's click run code. Total. Let's check it here. We have okay, let's revise it with me. Okay, let total equal 0, and here we have it. Or let I equal 0, and I is less than 7, and here we have I plus plus, and we open the curly brackets. We have here total. Yes, we forgot equal. Okay, so here is total equal total plus temp list, and open the square brackets. I end it console.log total. Okay, let's click run code and see it with me. And here's the output. Here is 222. This is the sum of all these values. عشان كده I told you, if you find console.log total or total here, it means I want you to add all these or sum all these together to make an addition process. Okay, so the output was 222. So it means that all the values are numerical value added together. This completes the second step. Now for the third and final step. Finally, take all the added numerical values and divide them by 1 week or 7. That will give you the average temperature in console.log. In between the parentheses, just do total, okay, divided by 7. Let's try to write it while looking at the example. Okay, so here is the program, and we will write console.log total, okay, divide by 7. Okay, let's write total or console. We have already here console.log, so we will write total and slash and 7, and it's ended. Okay, let's click run code, and here is the average 31. And let's continue. Okay, now we are going to learn about using array values. So I've been trying to figure out the average temperature. Can I use other data to find out the average too? Of course. What kind of record are you looking for? I actually had to run a marathon at a school the other day. I used to run a lot during my training period, so I'll try to find out my average mile age during that period. That's nice. Exercise logs are so motivating and useful to look back on. Did you write down the distance you ran? Well, let's see. Here's how it goes. Day 1, 5 kilometer. Day 2, it's 2 kilometers. Day 3, 4. Day 4, 1. And 5, it's equal 3. And day 6 equal 3. Oh, that's great. That you have been running every day for 6 days. Well, let's start with an array with the variable name run logs. Run logs meaning the record of running. By the way, you can't use space in variable names. اللي احنا قلنا عليها بقى. You can't put a space in variable names. يعني run space logs. No. When naming a variable with greater than or equal to 2 words, capitalize the separator, such as run logs. Okay, L here we have it capitalized. Okay, I see I can't use the space. I will try. So the distance covered are 5 kilometers, 2 kilometers, 4 and 1 and 3 and 3. Create your program as follows. Okay. Insert the numerical values of the mile age into the array. So تعالوا بينا كده. Let's click it. So we will write them. Let it run logs equal and open the square brackets, write 5 and a comma, 2, 2 and a comma, four, comma and 1, comma, 3, and final one is 3. Okay, and end the program with a semicolon. After that, let's write let total I think that he wants to assign the array, only assign the array. Okay, let's not complete and see if he just wants the arrays. Okay, run code. Exactly. So here he wants only from us to put the array itself. So we wrote here let run logs equal, and we wrote the number of the values here. All right, we've got an array. Cody, how do you get the average mileage? Well, there are 3 major steps to output the average. Create variables, assign an array, add up the distance run for 6 days, and divide the added distance by the number of days. So starting with creating, adding the variables or the values, and divide the added distance. Since we have already created the variable, let's recall from 2. So now we will, after we wrote this line, we will continue here by writing let total equal 0 and end with a semicolon. Okay, so we write for Open the parentheses and let's write let I equal 0 and put a semicolon. I is less than 6 and semicolon and I plus plus. Okay, let's open the curly brackets and write total equal total plus run logs. And open the square brackets and write I and end it with a semicolon. Okay, so let's click run code and see it together. And here is the output is 18. So what did he do? He calculated all these and made a sum process. So he 5 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 3 and finally 3. So all of them equals 18. Finally, divide the total distance by the number of days. And finally here we will write console.log total, okay, /6. Console.log and let's write total and slash and 6. And in the parentheses put a semicolon. Let's see it. The program here is console.log. Okay, I'm writing total by we wrote console.log and let's click and it equals 3. Okay, here's we have another code to write. Type in the editor. Okay, create your program as follows. Create it after the second line. So we will write it here. Declare the variable total and assign value to it. So let's write let, okay, total equal 0 and end it with a semicolon. Repeat total, okay, equal total plus steps, and of course it's steps, and the end is I 6 times. We want it to be repeated 6 times. So how to write it? Using the for or the looping process. We write for and open the parentheses. Write let I equal 0 and a semicolon and I is less than K6 and add a semicolon and of course I plus plus. And after that, we open the curly brackets, click enter and write we want total, okay, to equal total plus 10. So we write total equal total plus steps here, okay. And open the square brackets and write I and end it with a semicolon. No, not here, it's there. After that, we write console.log because it says here output the numerical values obtained by divide the variable total by the number of days to the console. So we want to build the division process after that. So we write here console.log and open the brackets or open the parentheses. We write total and it's divided by 6. End the program with a semicolon and let's check it with me. And here is the number outputted. Okay, now let's continue to the next lesson. What's array length and how to check the length of an array? Well, just remember that my homework is due tomorrow. I still have to enter the temperature date that I haven't entered into the temperature recording program yet. Additional temperatures were 30 degrees, 28 degrees, 90 or 29 degrees, and so on. So, surely we can just add more content to the array. Okay, let's write it down. Add values to the array. We want to add these values to the array. Do you remember how? So we write 30 and comma 28 and comma and write 29. Let's click run code and well, let's check it here. Oh yes, look here. It's not a comma. Okay, now it's correct. Now let's click run code and exactly we put it. Okay, and here we want to enter console.log template length. Okay, what does here the length mean? How many days of data did you put into the array? So we want to know the length of the days itself. Okay, so how many days of the temperature data did you put into the array? Look here. We will write console.log parentheses and write template dot length and the parentheses and put a semicolon. Let's click run code and see here it's 10. Well, what's 10? Let's count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So when we write length, it means the number of the values here in this variable. So if we want to know the number of the values here, we just write template, okay, dot length. It outputs 10. Does this mean that it contains values for 10 days? That's very astute. That's right. It's a program that tells you how many boxes you have. So if we want to know the number of the values here in this variable, just write template.length. So if you look at the program in console.log, you will see that it says template.length. Template is the variable name, and the word length means the length of the array. How many, okay, values in the array? So here's how many values. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? So let's go to the review with me. And it's a total of 5 cues or 5 questions about array. Let's click start. Okay, put the following values in the array 5, 10, and 15. So how to write them? Here in between the square brackets, and we write 5, comma, 10, comma, and 15. And let's click run code. It says nothing will be output when executed, so no need to execute it because nothing will appear here. And click answer, and it's correct. Let's click next. Okay. Select the output result of executing the following program. So it says let num equals 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. And console.log number 2. So number 2, which one? Is it 10? No, it starts with 0. So let's count 0, 1, 2. Then it's 15 will be output here. Okay. يبقى نتذكر احنا دايما لما نيجي نعد كده لو انا عايز مثلا 2 يبقى بنعد من الزيرو 0 1 2 and click answer and it's correct. Let's click next. Output all the values in the array to the console. Okay, don't enter value directly. So we want all these values to be output by writing here the variable name, and the variable name is num. So we will write num and click run code. And here is all the values of the array. Okay, let's click next. Here, select the output result of the executing the following program. So I told you before, if you find the word sum, okay, so you need to, okay, add these values to each other or sum these values. So it's 1 and 2, they are 3, 3 and 3, it's equal 6. And click answer, and it's correct. And click next. Output the length of the array to the console. Don't enter the numerical value of the length directly. So we want length. How to write it? We write the name of the variable and dot length. So the variable name here is num. We write num, okay, dot, and we write length. Okay, and let's click run code. So they are 5. Look here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that was the final question, and it was correct. And let's go to the result, and it's perfect. Well, that was the end for today's session. Hope you, inshallah, enjoyed it and understood all the information from me. All best wishes. Thank you and goodbye.